coordinator in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Mrs. Savić.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I have a pleasure to greet and welcome you all here in Sarajevo on behalf of Directorate for European Integration of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in my own that we can be quite satisfied with the results accomplished so far. 2007 and 8 allocations are fully contracted through the first round of calls for proposals for all 3 bilateral CBC programs with our neighboring countries, Croatia, Serbia and Montenegro, and second round of calls for all 3 programs are ongoing. Some of them include even 2011 allocations. Within current revision of programs, in order to equalize allocations on both sides of the border and reduce possible leftovers in Serbia and Montenegro, European Commission has increased annual allocation for 2012 and 13 for Bosnia and Herzegovina by €400,000, and I would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation for that decision. As well as operating structure manual of procedures have been drafted with support of an EU technical assistance project. Given the fact post-2013 programs becomes also important for us. Regional cooperation is not only our obligation, but also asked by the second component of IPA, and in that context, and for the benefit of local communities in border regions, continuation of these programs. Remember this meeting for a pleasant time, and as one of successful meetings you had. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gianni. It's a great pleasure for me to be here in this rather impressive gathering. You've been occupying the entire part of the Hotel Europa that is normally devoted to breakfast. So it's the first time that I see that everybody is getting to have breakfast somewhere else. I think it's very important to underscore the regional dimension of this event. As you know, regional dimension for the Western Balkans is a very important component also in terms of conditionality for moving towards the European Union. So all the events which are related to improving relationship between neighboring countries in the Western Balkans is particularly significant. I understand that in the course of the implementation of this program, there's been strong commitment of the beneficiaries to participate in this program itself, and I think this indicates that the time was indeed right to promote and to try to launch this initiative of cross-border cooperation for the Western Balkans. I think there are the key objectives that, as we know, CBC is trying to achieve are clearly extremely important, both in terms of reconciliation and good neighborly relations in a region that for many years have been a subject of conflicts. It is clear that it's very important in terms of promoting EU integration, not so much and not only at the level of the elites, but at the grassroots, and certainly in that region which are bordering regions, or the one that may benefit or suffer the most from the process of integration itself. And then I think the importance of trying to contribute to help the countries to familiarize themselves in terms of the implementation of the structural funds territorial cooperation, which is also something important. I understand that you are getting into 3 days, one yesterday plus 2, of a operationally oriented set of meetings. So you would not mind if I say a couple of words in terms of challenge. Some of my colleagues who have been dealing with this process now for several years think that there are a few issues that needs to be addressed and need to be brought to the table of the reflection. The first one is it's clear that this is a complex program and is a fairly complex management structure. All this for a program which has a relatively small allocation in terms of our plan overall financial envelope. The other issue which I think deserves some reflection is the fact that at the time of scarce resources, especially in delegation like ours, which have both a large envelope and a very large political activity, quite a lot of those scarce resources are ending up managing relatively small projects. And this is, of course, a fairly challenging thing for the delegation. And I understand that also in terms of the operating structure from the beneficiary, perhaps further effort is needed in order to respond more to the kind of demands that a program of this nature envisage. As Ms. Savić was indicating, it's time for reflection. The allocation of resources is coming to an end. I understand there is a reflection that is due for mid-November, and then the new reflection in terms of the budgetary allocation, etc. I'm sure that some of these challenges will be addressed and probably some of the problems will be solved in terms of this allocation. I would like to thank you for your attention and wish you a very fruitful working day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Renzo. And now I give the floor to Andre Lis, the head of D1 unit, finance and contract.
Budget for the years 2014-2020. And as part of this, the definition of the budget for the external actions of the EU and the support of the European Union and the scope of the financial assistance in the context of external actions, taking also into account the broader challenges that we have in the world and in the region, in particular in the southern part of the Mediterranean Union and the rest of the... what we are doing, in fact, is helping keeping enlargement and pre-accession assistance high on the map. We need to demonstrate that all money is useful and produce results. And that's the main challenge that we have to do. So we have to demonstrate that all member states, etc. So all these questions are on the table, and the relative weight of each and every policy area within IPA will need to be discussed. In order to make a case for cross-border cooperation, we need to demonstrate results and impacts. So now we can show results in terms of structures being put in place. We can show results in terms of the national. We have a year to make our case vis-à-vis the budgetary authority. CBC cross-border cooperation is, in terms of this current, allocated to cross-border cooperation inside the Western Balkans. It's about 15 million euros per year, so over the financial framework, it's a bit more than 100 million euros. So you are here responsible for managing over 100 million euros over 7 years. And when I say over this, something that will be managed in the coming 2-3 years only. So it's quite significant per se. It's still 1% of the budget of IPA altogether, but it is not insignificant. And we have seen in our meeting last year with the Parliament, the Member States, etc., meeting in December, that CBC attracts a lot of